What would you do if you woke up one day and in your head you hear all the things that are happening on the internet? This is exactly what happened to this young boy. Hello, welcome back to I Am Movies. Today we're diving into the 2017 sci-fi movie known as iBoy. But before we jump into the details, make sure to show us some love by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Now let's get right into it. The story begins with Tom, a 16-year-old boy with a regular life. His parents died a long time ago and now lives with his grandmother Nan. While going to school, he meets his best friend Danny, who is also his schoolmate. In the school, Tom sees his crush Lucy, who invited him to come over to her home after class to do a review, so he can help Lucy with one of their subjects in school. But with every school story, we have a bully, and here comes Eugene, who usually annoys Tom. Later that night, Tom went to see Lucy at her home. He knocks and he notices the door is unlocked. Upon entering the house to check on Lucy, he saw 4 criminals had just raped Lucy. One of them filming the incident, sees Tom, and another one point a gun at him. In a quick thinking, Tom runs the scene. He attempts to contact the police while running, and when his phone is connected to the police, he gets shot directly in the head by the criminal. After 10 days, Tom awakens in the hospital, finding his grandmother Nan by his side. The doctor discloses that his brain suffered extensive damage, but a life-saving operation has been successful. However, a complication arises. Certain components of a cell phone remain embedded in his brain. Attempting a second surgery poses a grave risk, and for now, these fragments must stay. Days later, Tom is discharged and allowed to return home. As he settles in, he begins experiencing something extraordinary, an ability to distinctly hear conversations from other people's electronic devices. His brain, fused with the cell phone fragments, grants him the capability to perceive the transmission of digital data traffic. It's as though he now has access to global data servers, effortlessly retrieving information without any external devices. Driven by this newfound power, Tom decides to visit Lucy after an extended period of time. Overwhelmed with regret for not being able to protect her on that fateful night, he seeks to apologize and make amends. However, Lucy comprehends her struggles and expresses hope for improvement. On his way home, Tom continues to eavesdrop on electronic conversations around him. As he delves deeper, he encounters unfamiliar and unsettling information, leading to a moment of overwhelming confusion that culminates in him passing out. The following day, Tom returns to school. Upon his return, he reunites with his best friend Danny. Tom harbors suspicions that Eugene and his bullying cohorts were involved in Lucy's assault, but Danny dismisses the claim, believing that while Eugene may be troublesome, he has limits. In class that day, Tom uses his extraordinary ability to access Eugene's phone, discovering a video documenting Lucy's assault. Enraged, he concentrates all his mental power on the cell phone, causing it to explode, and unleashing the pent-up frustration and determination within him. That night, Tom attends a friend's party, where Eugene and his friends are also present. Convinced that they are the perpetrators, Tom confronts them for answers, but once again, Danny intervenes, pulling him away. Tom confides in Danny about Eugene's role in Lucy's incident, but disappointingly, Danny denies Tom's statement. Later, Tom visits Lucy, and as they gaze at the view from the balcony, they spot Eugene and his friends passing by. Lucy's expression makes it evident that they are indeed the perpetrators. The next day, Tom begins his reign of terror. He shadows Eugene and his friends, hacking into their mobile phones and gaining access to all their activities. In the darkness of the same night, Tom starts his hacking spree, manipulating their surroundings from turning off the lights in their house to even recording one of Eugene's friends, Cass, in a compromising situation. The following day in class, while the professors are giving a presentation, Tom uses the projector to show a video of Cass masturbating in his room, which makes all of the students chuckle. Cass, who was present on the class, gets humiliated about it. On the same day, Tom pays a visit to Lucy and tells her the latest news that happened to their class. Intrigued, Lucy is thoroughly entertained by Tom's story. However, Tom maintaining a sense of mystery, Tom initially contacts Lucy on her phone anonymously, when she inquires about his identity. In response, he playfully suggests she refers to him as iBoy, who just wants to look after her. Later, Tom takes Lucy out for an outing, and amidst their conversation, Lucy confides in him, expressing her gratitude that he is the only person who bothered to come see her. Tom in turn assures Lucy that he won't evade her company in the future and implores her to trust him. As they walk back home, Eugene and his group confront them. Eugene, under the impression that Tom and Lucy have been causing trouble on their devices, Eugene ready to resort to violence. Swiftly, Tom sends an unidentified message to the group, redirecting their aggression toward the wrong target. Confused, Eugene's men search for the mysterious messenger, providing Tom and Lucy with a window of opportunity to escape from the confrontation unscathed. After searching in confusion for the mysterious message sender, Eugene and his crew decide to take matters into their own hands. Spotting a car by the roadside, they attempt to steal it. However, their plans take an unexpected turn when, after successfully getting into the car, it locks automatically and can't be opened from the inside. Little do they know, Tom has remotely hacked into the car system. With the car locked and tension rising, Tom seizes control of the situation. He broadcasts a threatening message over the car radio, questioning Eugene and his men about their attack on Lucy's family. To intensify the pressure, Tom fills the car with smoke, deliberately adding a touch of fear. As panic sets in, he goes a step further, simulating fire in the car to amplify their anxiety. Faced with the frightening scenario, one of Eugene's crew members, Cass, succumbs to fear and spills the beans. He reveals that they were acting on orders from someone named Cuts. After extracting the crucial information from Eugene's crew, Tom decides to release them. In the subsequent scene, Tom, fueled by revenge, tracks down Cuts' location. Upon arrival, Tom creates a diversion. He exploits his hacking skills, taking control of the TV to play a video of Cuts' car being disgracefully urinated on. They all go to check on it. Tom, seizing the opportunity, slips into the house undetected. Once inside, Tom wreaks havoc, dismantling all electronic equipment using his exceptional abilities. In the process, he stumbles upon several packets of drugs and decides to take them. Once Cuts and his crew comes back, they are stunned to see the place wrecked and all the drugs are gone. That same night, Tom's retaliation doesn't conclude there. He strategically places the drugs in small packets, planting them where Eugene and his gang reside. Taking it a step further, Tom hacks into the police department, feeding them false information that local schoolboys are involved in drug dealing. The intricate plan unfolds rapidly, and soon enough, the police raid Eugene and his friends, resulting in their arrest. Meanwhile, as Tom continues his vendetta, he manages to hack into Cuts' bank account, draining it completely. Financially crippled, Cuts faces the consequences of Tom's digital prowess. The following night, eavesdropping on Cuts' conversation with his superior, Elman, Tom learns that Elman is growing increasingly agitated with their disrupted operations. From his vantage point atop a building, Tom attempts to track Elman's location, but encounters an unexpected obstacle, as if Elman is shielded from detection. Simultaneously, Cuts, who's under pressure from Elman, directs his remaining men to uncover the identity of iBoy by seizing all electronic devices in the vicinity. Little do they realize that Tom doesn't rely on conventional hacking tools. The next day, after completing his exam, Tom intercepts a signal revealing a drug deal between Cuts and Elman. Determined to thwart the transaction, he plans to burn all the drugs that night. On the other hand, Nan, concerned about Tom's change of behavior, seeks help from Tom's best friend Danny, who agrees to keep an eye on Tom. Undeterred, Tom persists in tailing Cuts' car. However, his pursuit takes an unexpected turn when Cuts, in an attempt to evade capture, disposes of his mobile in a random trash can. Faced with this setback, Tom refuses to surrender and devises a clever plan. Hacking into a satellite, he successfully reestablishes Cuts' whereabouts. Upon locating the site of the impending drug deal, Tom hastily learns some martial arts moves from the internet. In a swift and coordinated effort, he takes down several individuals and sets fire to a significant quantity of drugs. Unfortunately, before he can make a clean escape, Cuts and his crew arrive, initiating a brutal assault. In a perilous moment, Tom manages to fend them off by emitting a high-frequency sound, narrowly avoiding a fatal outcome. The following morning, Tom regains consciousness in a secluded area by the river. Unaware of the turmoil Tom has been facing, Lucy anxiously waits for him at school, where they had promised to take an exam together. By the time Tom arrives, the exam has concluded, leaving Lucy disappointed. Outside the school, they are met with shock upon discovering Cass's lifeless body hanging above. Danny checks in on Tom's well-being, and during their conversation, Tom inquires about Cass's killer. Danny suggests that it might be the responsibility of iBoy, unknowingly implicating Tom himself. Troubled by the consequences of his actions, Tom decides to confront the root of his problems. He returns to the doctor who operated on his head, seeking to remove the remaining cell phone fragments still embedded in his brain. Desperate to rid himself of the cell phone fragments in his brain, Tom visits the doctor, only to receive devastating news. Removing the pieces would instantly lead to his demise, leaving him distraught and overwhelmed with regret. Returning home with a weight of guilt, Tom is met with an ominous surprise. Elman and his men have invaded his house, holding Tom's grandmother hostage at gunpoint. A peculiar interference prevents Tom from clearly seeing Elman. Elman, unveiling a shocking revelation, discloses that he has been aware of iBoy's true identity all along. Not only that, he knows Tom's unique ability to hack without electronic devices. To Tom's dismay, Ellman obtained this information from none other than Danny, who had been secretly observing Tom. Danny, motivated by financial gain, willingly supplied Ellman with the details. With Tom cornered, Ellman issues a command: hack into the bank system and transfer money to his account, since he paid a lot of money when he bailed out Eugene and his crew. Initially resistant, Tom's resolve weakens when Ellman reveals that Lucy has been captured and threatens to harm her, unless Tom complies. Reluctantly, Tom begins hacking into the bank system, funneling money into Ellman's account. However, the transfer takes time, so Ellman asks them to drive into the warehouse. Tom also hacks into Eugene's phone, where he is in charge of watching over Lucy. While the transfer of money is happening, Tom uses that time to call the police without anyone's knowledge. As the police arrive at the warehouse to conduct a search, Eugene and his men manage to evade capture. Lucy, seizing an opportunity, grabs a gun from the floor and turns the tables on Eugene and his crew, successfully escaping with Eugene's firearm. Her triumph is short-lived as she encounters Ellman, who has Tom in tow. Despite her initial escape, Lucy is once again held hostage by Ellman. Forced by Ellman's command, Tom continues transferring money into Ellman's bank account, trying to think of a way to save himself and Lucy. In a desperate move, Tom attempts to sabotage their situation by hacking into their cell phones until they explode. This creates chaos, allowing Tom to break free. However, Ellman runs and Tom follows him outside. But Ellman retaliates by striking Tom from behind with an iron pipe, intending to end Tom's life in a fit of rage. In the nick of time, Lucy intervenes, shooting Ellman in the hand. Despite his injury, Ellman attacks Lucy. Enraged by the sight, Tom unleashes the full extent of his power, gathering shockwaves and hurling them at Ellman until he succumbs. Following that fateful night, Tom falls back into a coma but eventually regains consciousness after a few days, accompanied by his grandmother again in the same hospital. With Ellman out of the picture, the neighborhood experiences newfound peace, devoid of crime. Danny, seeking redemption for his betrayal, offers Tom the money he received from Ellman, but Tom refuses, emphasizing that not everything can be repaid with money. It comes to light that Danny was the one who is recording the incriminating video that night. Lucy was raped. This played a crucial role in the events. Despite Danny's attempt at reconciliation, their friendship remains forever changed. Meanwhile, Tom and Lucy embark on their first date, finding solace and calmness in each other. Lucy now knows that I-Boy is Tom. Lucy expresses helping Tom to develop his remaining superpower for the greater good. And the movie ends here. If you'd like to see us recap any other movies or topics you have in mind, just drop a comment and let us know. And don't forget to hit the like button, share this recap, and subscribe to stay updated for the next one. Until next